Hello everyone and welcome back to My Thai Wife podcast. I'm Mike and sadly I'm still doing this without my lovely wife Sunari.
Hi everyone, I see you again. Welcome back to My Thai Wife podcast.
Who are you?
I'm Pim.
Oh, so tell them you're Pim. And we got another special guest for us. His name is David. I known him for about 3 months almost, I think. A very nice guy, very good guy. I like him. I spent a lot of time in his restaurant, which is The Flame in Soy Lengkee, right?
Yeah.
Hello, David. How are you doing?
Hi there. Hi.
So, first, I will start by that, okay? I known you from some friends, like mutual friends that we have, and they told me, oh, you have to try this restaurant. They haven't even spoke about you first, right?
Yeah.
Just try that restaurant.
Okay, that's nice.
And it is a very good restaurant, but I know, especially in Soy Lengkee, there are more than one steakhouses, right?
Yes.
So, before we go to the whole why you came to Thailand and everything, this was my first question to you. I remember that when I asked you, why open in Soy Lengkee when there is so much competition?
Okay, so first thing, I purchased a building like 20 years ago as a pension.
Okay.
And I was happy to rent it out and just leave it like that. But then COVID came and the tenants left. So as a result, I had to decide to find a new tenant or do something. Mm-hmm. And I decided, like, a bit of a crazy decision, but I decided to make a restaurant.
Okay.
And been learning the trade over the last 2 years since we opened. And the second thing, the reason I chose a steakhouse was I decided to do food that I knew that I liked and felt comfortable with, because obviously I could judge the level of customer satisfaction with some confidence.
With your own tongue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like for instance, I can't eat seafood. So I'm very nervous when I put seafood on the menu.
Why? Because of the freshness of it?
No. I just actually have always struggled with seafood. I tried to at 18, but
you don't like it yourself?
I just can't eat it.
Okay.
So basically, for those, and there's only a couple of seafood dishes on the menu, I rely on the chef to get it right, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Not many people like. Okay, I rephrase that. Okay. Some people do like seafood very much, but in the Western world, it's less common. So I get that.
And I thought in Pattaya, it's just like many places for seafood.
Many choices.
Many. Around Pattaya, it's all seafood.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but it's almost all of it, it's Asian seafood. I almost never seen stuff like I give you example, like a real risotto. You know what I mean?
Okay.
With the scallops and everything. You never see that around. You see a lot of Asian seafood dishes.
Asian.
I mean, I've been offered imported seafood, but I also think it's high risk because,
people can get the shits from it.
Yeah, and I feel safe with steak that you're very unlikely to have any problems with customer health and hygiene.
As long as you trust your supplier and everything,
Yeah.
I get that. So before, you said something very interesting to me. You said you purchased the building 20 years ago, right?
Yes.
For your pension and everything. This means you're coming for Thailand at least for 30 years?
Yeah, I came in 1997 the first time.
Okay, so I almost right. I was off by 2 years.
Very good guess, yeah. And I came here, loved it. But obviously, like most people, you come here, you can't stay here for long because
of the visa situation. Or
because you have a job, and then you
have responsibilities.
And I was lucky. I had my own business, and it was an IT business. And slowly, I managed to kind of sneak more time over here, and then eventually, I had a different business, which was design.
Okay,
my customer was in Germany, and they basically said to me, because I was living in England and sending the work remotely to Germany anyway, they allowed me to come and work here.
Okay.
And that's really given me the chance to live here.
Closed the IT business, or you sold your share?
Actually, we sold it.
Okay.
I was only 10% shareholder.
Okay.
So the guy owned it, sold it, and I got 10%, and then I started a design business.
Okay, and you're still doing the design thing?
Yes, I'm still doing the same job now.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to be many more. It's 20-something years I've been doing it, so So I think days are numbered because the company I work for has a lot of competition from China now. And it's
and I guess with all the AI stuff now, it's becoming more.
Yeah, AI does. It's there, but AI isn't producing stuff at the quality needed for the work that I do because I do big screen stuff for shows, etc.
Okay.
And basically, if you use AI, you can get a really nice looking thing on a mobile phone and even on your computer screen.
But
when it goes big, you see all the imperfections and you see like something's out of focus behind when the front is in focus and then behind that is in focus.
So it can be a good starter point, but then you have to still work on it very hard.
Yeah, but in honesty, the speed that AI has got to the level it is now, I don't think it'd be long before they can do what I'm doing, which is why I'm starting to think, maybe I've had that job kind of. It's got a life of maybe 2 years, 1 year.
So I think not only in design.
Yeah.
I think in many other.
Yeah.
Like many other occupations, soon will go to the AI. This is why we still always have to invent ourselves and find options.
And it's sad because I basically grew up listening to groups that the whole talent of a rock group was a singer with nothing really helping him, playing the guitar, playing an instrument.
Yeah, very pouring his soul into that music, right?
Yeah, putting his soul into music, and you connected with the singer. You were thinking, what was he thinking when he said that, when he wrote that lyric, and I watch AI now on you get links all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And I've got this horrible feeling that creativity is dying, basically.
It is.
And I kind of pray it would go back. I wish it could be reversed.
I think at a certain point, maybe there will be some laws that will stop it. Maybe.
Yeah, yes, but internationally, nobody can apply law. It's just now. It's tough.
Yeah, I understand. Do you remember a few years ago they took three dead artists? I don't remember the third one, but I know for sure the first one was Kurt Cobain, the second one was Jimi Hendrix, and I don't remember the third one. And they gave all the previous songs and everything to AI and told them create a song by him. Do you remember that?
Well, I totally believe it,
and it was, by the way, some of them went to the top of the billboards. One of their songs. Yeah,
because a second problem, and a thing that turned me off the music scene is, I basically met some people that were quite happy in the music scene. And they said most of their music is now written for 15 to 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Because
they're the ones that go out and buy and spend the money.
Yeah.
And so everyone's kind of compromised and come to a certain level.
You just need to make a hit. One hit. Yeah, it needs to be catchy.
Yeah.
It needs to be, as you said, the audience need to be the 15 or 16-year-old people, and that's it.
Yeah. And at the same time with movies, it's
the movie industry is so fucking shit now.
Yeah. And it would be lovely if you could go back to the days where everything was talent. And like, even when you listen to singles in the old days, groups could hold out and say, I'm not going to commercialise it. I'm going to write the music I want to write. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back to Pink Floyd and the early Queen, before Queen were famous. But it was different then. I think it was different.
They wanted to do something that
is true to themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
But it's gone. But I think part of the discussion is not right, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
You could always, at any point of time, you could go back and ask people, well, the old days were better, and they will say, yeah, the old days were better, because we have a sense of nostalgia, and stuff like that. So I get what you are saying, and I know we are at the verge of a revolution, an AI revolution. I know that, but still, I think always we will look at the old days and say they were better.
It's a very good point. And as growing up, now I'm thinking these things. I'm thinking my mum used to say it to me, or my grandma would say the same things I'm saying. And I always believed that with them, that the old days weren't better. It was nostalgic. But I spend a lot of time. So if I got work to do in the condo, I put a movie on in the background when I'm working.
Okay.
That helps me work, yeah. And I've found now, I'm watching the 50s black and white movies in America and England.
Okay.
And I'm watching them thinking, that was a better life. People were kinder to each other. There weren't these constant mobile phones and like if you did something, it was special.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree that creativity is dead. Okay.
Yes.
I agree about that. But our life, like you couldn't say that our life isn't better right now. We are living longer, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the especially if you look at the how they say that, all the medicine stuff and everything.
Yes.
It's went to a point that you can almost cure, and this is almost right. And look, for example, at HIV. People that get HIV now, no problem. 1 tablet a day, and no worries.
I think you're totally right, and that's why I stopped at the 50s. Because when you go back to further, like the treatments that they had and whatever else, were, I mean, horrendous.
Lobotomy and stuff like that for a headache.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But so I see it now. It's almost like children in a sweet shop, and it's kind of you can have whatever you want whenever you want it.
Yeah.
And I think it's making society sick. In the same way, if a child could have everything he wanted all the time, it's not good for himself. It's not, and it's more that healthcare is brilliant. The fact that here in Pattaya, you can do anything you want to do any time of day, any time of night.
Well, in Pattaya, it was like that for the last 30 years, I think.
Yeah, yes, true. But it's still a case you can order Chinese food, Indian food. You can
use all the apps, Grab or whatnot, and just order
for now.
Yeah. Or like you can watch Manchester United if you like them. You can watch Formula 1 at 8. It's like society has become so instant and available that nothing's really that special because you can do it. And the thing I like in the old movies is that they took a day in the park, and they kind of look forward to it. They made a picnic bag. The kids came along and they actually played sports with a ball or something like that. And
I would agree that it was simpler. Okay, it was much more simple back then.
I think it's value is the word that I think is missing today.
Okay, I get that because I had an discussion with my friend the other day, and he said something that I thought was very smart. That right now, almost, let's say 90% of the people in the world have all the available information in the palm of their hands.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right now. Yes. You just take your phone, you can find whatever you want.
Yeah.
And people still watch fucking TikTok and stupid stuff, dances and stupid like that.
True.
They don't want to learn. They don't want. So even when you get access to so much information, you are still distracted by the bullshit.
Yes, that's very true.
So value is, you're right. We valued more. We valued information more. Every house used to have, maybe you remember that huge wall with the encyclopedias, right?
Yeah, that's right. The books. I mean, how long has this read a book? I can't, probably 15, 20 years.
I don't read books. I listen to them. But just because I have severe ADHD, I don't like to sit down and read, Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, on the other side, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this. They say AI is now, but actually things have been artificially intelligent for a long time. It's just now there's a big wave. Yeah.
Now everyone can do that by themselves.
It's simpler. Yeah, that's right. It's more available.
It's just like I gotta say it's just like it just depends on people how to use it. I mean, like for AI or electronic things, it's just like it's just like a new generation and they made it like blow up. And what the point is from me, I see
she's younger than us. She's 20.
So it's 20. Interesting to look at it.
I see from it, it's like they made human have life easily more.
Yeah, of course.
Do everything easily with phone or like mobile phone, electric and applications.
Especially for people at your age or even younger that was already born into it. Right? For them, it's obvious. You want something? Oh, I take my huge tablet and I just press 3 buttons and I will get whatever I need.
But it's just whatever I can say. Like it depends on the parent. How they
raise the children.
How they raise
She's also right.
It's
about it.
Because
that's true.
I'm a person like never get spoiler from parent.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do everything by my own, and I thought like when I get like first phone, this is very important, and I like it to shoot the good way to use it.
You valued it more, exactly.
I use for learn my English language. I use for looking how to do like dancing practice or about travel around the world or learning about history from other country.
Which is very rare for
that's really good. That's really good.
In same age, I mean like same age, me 20, they do similar like me. But for new, some of them, But for new, for new, it's like they are just use it like normally, like have fun with that, TikTok, and and
I think
games.
the TikTok, not only the TikTok, but all the reels and all that stuff that. There is stuff called doom scrolling. You heard that phrase before? So doom scrolling is, you can see that everywhere. When you see a Thai lady or a Thai man or even Farang man just scrolling their phone videos after, it's called doom scrolling.
That's good. That's good.
That's a good name for that.
That's a good name.
And people are stuck in those loops, sometimes because the videos, people reach to the point that when they create content for people, they make it instant with the hooks, something that will hook you immediately for the next 10 seconds. They don't need more than that.
That's right.
So,
by the way, one of the reasons we chose not to do a video with the podcast, because I want to people to be able to focus on what we are saying, not how we look like or whatever. I don't like. For example, me and you, we are old fucks, right? But Pim here is a sexy young lady, right? And if there was a camera here, no one will listen to us.
It's true.
So this is one of the reasons I chose to do it this way, because I understand that there is an overflow of how do I say that, of content that the whole reason it exists is to catch you for 10 seconds without any meaning behind it, without any story behind it.
Yes. That's very common. And I think it's easy to receive a podcast, but as someone listening, it's you can have it on and do other things. It's good. It's good.
Thank you.
It's good.
Can I ask about your restaurant? Yeah. So
have you eat here before?
I can say I never tried here before.
You never went with our mutual friend here before?
Huh?
Our mutual friend.
No.
You never go with him before?
No.
Okay.
I got recommend from a guys like had to come over to Frame and had some steak. They had a very nice steak. So
not only steak, by the way.
Not only steak,
menu,
but I see. Is this about if I doesn't know how look like inside in the restaurant or the menu, so I can check on phone like Google Maps or
I always, by the way, I get you. I always, when I look for another restaurant or news restaurant, just Google Maps and I see the picture that people post. It's much easier.
I mean, actually, that's a good question, because for me in a restaurant, I obviously got my normal job, and then having a new restaurant, first 6 months was learning about the restaurant trade, because everyone knew a lot more than me.
Of course.
And the thing that I've neglected is social media. I've got a Facebook page, but I rarely have time to go on and do something. And I basically looked in the other day.
Facebook page for the restaurant? Or okay.
Yeah, and I basically looked in the other day, and there's 99 unread notifications, and the menu on our website needs updating.
Okay.
So it's like that side of it. I don't think I've got the kind of headspace to do all of that social media and the restaurant.
Yeah, but of course, most of the people that own restaurants hire people for that, right?
Yes,
do all the marketing stuff and everything. Especially, by the way, in Thailand, it's extremely cheap to hire someone that will do that for you.
It's 100% true. But one frustrating thing about me is kind of really attentive to getting everything right in detail. And I'm not very good at giving someone a job to do.
Okay, I get that.
Which I should do, but I'll be more scared they put something on that didn't reflect how I want to be, or how I'd like people to perceive the restaurant. And I've got to trust more. I mean, obviously the chefs, I trust them. The service ladies downstairs, I trust. It's just really that it's, for me, it's step by step. You know,
I see.
And even if someone, I've had a lot of kind of guys come and done videos and then post them on YouTube. They're like the most stressful, worrying moment for me when you see someone coming with a camera in the restaurant. It's because you're thinking that guy can destroy the reputation of the restaurant, or he can help you. But I prefer he just didn't come.
I understand that you're not the only one that I heard it from, because sometimes it's just a matter of personal taste, The food can be great, but he don't like carrots, and for some reason there was carrots in his salad, and now we say, oh, this restaurant is shit.
But that's the power of social media. See, that one guy, I mean, I've been lucky. We've come through unscathed, but if he makes a comment, the power of his comment is so much more than if, like, a customer comes in, he likes it, he tells his friends, he doesn't like it, he doesn't come back. That's my ideal setup that gives me peace of mind.
I get that, yeah.
But honestly, I've been really lucky with the YouTubers. I've seen all the ones I know about, and they've been nice.
I think you do go around for some bars and sit with people and meet people. You're also like showing yourself what you are doing there. You know what I mean? For example, the first time we sat together and spoke together, you explained to me the whole trade in 1 hour. It was amazing, right? and many other people wouldn't do that. They will say, "Oh yeah, just own a restaurant, come eat there." No, you are there. You are present. I think it's 50% of your success.
I have to be totally honest with you. This is totally candid. First thing is, I'm lucky. I've got a good job that pays my income.
Yeah, of course.
So the restaurant was never really about making money. Obviously, I put a lot of money in, and I want it to be in good shape for when my son's 18.
Yeah.
So he can have like ownership in something, and if he doesn't want to do something else, he's got a restaurant. So obviously, I don't want to lose money every month. No one wants to keep putting money into something, but I'm not. I've seen it much more like almost like a hobby, but not a hobby. Something more professional hobby, but something where I kind of want to see: can I do it? Or can I not do it? And do you know how much pleasure you get when people eat their meal and they say that was excellent, or with the roast dinner, we get so many nice comments back that you just feel better about life.
Yeah.
And okay, if I lose my main job,
I agree.
I might be more like the other restaurant owners here, because I might rely on that for a living more.
Yeah.
So I'm not like a saint or anything, but I just honestly feel that I don't have to look at it as a business. And secondly, I'm kind of loner. So the restaurant, I've met 100 people that I could say are friends now, and 20 or 30 are close friends. So it's been good for my life as well. Because,
like a home.
It kind of feels like home. And yet, if the people I've met come, we do sit down almost like you're in the lounge, and
I cannot count how many times me and the other guys, which I cannot mention, came to the restaurant, just came, sat with us, we talked like
friends.
Yeah, exactly. We are friends, right? But it's giving also the customers, right, the feeling that, hey, this is not just another restaurant. This is like, I come here to meet my friend.
Which is nice, but I think I'm lucky, because honestly, if a lot of restaurants here, they rely on the number of people who come in for their income for that month, and therefore they've got to be more like out there. They've got to be a bit more pushy and whatever else. And I think for me, I probably worked enough that if I didn't have an expensive girlfriend, I could probably live quite well. I could probably live quite well on my own, but probably I'll have to keep doing the work because it's my son and
I get that, and I think first of all, you understand that he made this business in order for his son to have it later. That's you are a good father.
Well,
that's amazing.
Okay, but I had my son at 50. Right, so I was 50 years old. So
that's your only son?
Yeah, my only son, I would say any year before that I was far too immature. I'd have been a terrible dad.
Okay.
But I got to the point I'm mature enough to be a dad at 50. And we moved to Thailand. He was born in England. He's half Thai. He was born in England. We moved to Thailand because I'm not that good at admin and all the kind of jobs and commitments and things. Okay. So Thailand, the family, are much better for taking care of a child and helping you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Than in England. And so I would say here, the family values here are absolutely superb.
Yeah.
And they've gone I think in our culture, we love our parents, whatever else, but everyone lives a bit of a selfish life in England, and I think children don't.
Yeah, but another thing that I heard a few days ago that was very interesting, Thailand doesn't have social security. So their social security is the children.
Yes, and there's almost like a contract. There's almost like I've looked after you, so you've looked after me.
Yeah.
But then I think you're only talking money. See, the kind of thing I see is girls going back to their home and telling the mum to lie down and basically giving them a massage, massaging their feet. They do things that are just love and care that are stronger. I think in your country probably it's more similar to Thailand because of the faith and the
Yeah, it depends, but it's in Israel we do have very strong family values.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You know, England, you could live like a mile away from your parents and go and see them once every fortnight or once every month.
Not fly in Israel.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
They will just come knock on your door. Well, come to dinner.
Yeah.
For Thai, it's just like before about family, like they're really carefully about children. Mm-hmm. You know, no matter what about me, I'm 16, 17. Mm-hmm. I like for your country it's like young adult. Mm-hmm. Yeah, can go work, can do part-time job, but in Thailand it's like 18 you can do like part-time.
Before that you are a child.
Yeah, like 18 you're in a young adult and 20 you're adult. So
okay, but I do see in Thailand like children help with the. Okay, if you go to the country, for instance, maybe they're farming or something, and I do see like children at 14 are doing a lot of the tasks to help the family with the things.
Yeah. I do.
And by the way, I think there's nothing wrong with that because it's not like forced labour or something. There's family, it's nice, you know.
They're learning a trade.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But one more thing, sorry to cut you, but I want to remind you that there is something that the Thais do that will never, ever go easy in Western countries. Yeah. So many of the Thai ladies have a baby, but they want to keep work. What they do, they give the baby to the grandmother, right? They don't raise their own children.
That's right, very common.
Yeah.
And very common, but that's economic.
I understand that, but it will never, like, when I was with my wife before and we wanted to have children, we talked about it and she said, I told her, listen, we are not ready financially and I think we need to wait. She said, no problem, we'll have a child in Israel and we'll ship it. This is what he said. We will ship it to Thailand for my parents to take care of it. I said, no, what are you talking about? No, it's not. Okay. And then she said, no, it's normal.
I can say from Thai people, is this like they are still, like focus on the time. They can have children. Like I am experiencing, like mom had me when they're just 21, 22, like that, and my family is poor. So what her can do? Her has to left house, keep working, but her cannot take care of me because her doesn't have time enough. So that's why I take the parent. But for some, it's have like you said, like some people take like a children to grandparents to take care of them because they need to,
to provide. Of course, and I get that, but for a Western to hear such a phrase, let's ship our child to another country for our it's insanity,
Yeah, but okay, so. This is my own opinion. From girls I've met here and talked about things. I would say, like in Pattaya, for instance, okay, 7 out of 10 girls that have a child that is staying with their family desperately want to be with that child.
Oh, of course.
But there are the 3 out of 10 that love the scene here, love it all, and they're quite happy with the convenience of not having to look after a child.
Yeah, I agree.
And that surprised me, because I think that's totally against the culture here and everything.
Yeah, but people tend, especially in this city, to get very selfish very quickly.
Yes.
Especially the girls that work the bars or the go-go's. They see the money, they know the income, they like the party scenes, right? Some of them are unfortunately getting hooked on drugs or getting addicted to alcohol.
Well, it's hard not to get addicted to alcohol if you're working that, because you're getting paid to drink.
Yeah.
And if you don't drink, I think that 8, 9, 10 hours, wherever it is you work, must be very long.
It is.
So you're probably tempted to have more drinks. And then eventually it takes over.
I agree, but you can always put a bit more water inside the drink and make sure.
Well, I think a lot of people do that, but I mean, but you don't really drink, do you? So
I drink. Well, when I'm back home in Israel, I almost never drink. Maybe 1 beer a month, maybe. Here I drink almost every day, but not too much.
Yeah, okay.
I try to drink maybe 3 or 4 drinks a day. Maybe. Normally I just drink soda or water. You know that.
I see.
Yeah. But we both, the 3 of us know bar owners and people that work in the bars that get really addicted to alcohol, and they got the shakes when they don't drink and stuff like that. But I think some of them even were alcoholics before. They just said, "Oh, I like to drink, I'll open a bar." It's part of that also.
You know how I see it?
Are you a drinker, by the way?
No. Okay, so before I came to Thailand, I never drank. Never drank or anything. Okay. I came here and I had problems. I was a bit broken-hearted about a girl, and I found that when I'm really down, if I went out and had a few drinks, just got a bit slightly drunk, then all the stresses in my life went.
Okay.
And obviously the next day you wake up hangover and they come back. But I think a lot of the girls working here, they're very stressed about their mum saying, "Oh, I need another 4,000 baht for this." There's other stresses, the room where and I think there's an artificial comfort in being drunk.
Yeah.
And it starts
drunk
with
or high, by the way.
Yeah.
I will mix those two together.
I can say it from myself. I'm not a person really like to drink, and
but when you work
when I work in the bar, I have to make money.
Yes.
But because now I left.
Yeah.
And after that, the last yesterday, last night I hang out with him. This is first around few weeks I left the bar, and after I left, and I'm not hang out at night. I doesn't drink any alcohol.
But you're the exception, right? Most of the people that I know, even on their day off, and talking about ladies also, they still drink.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every girlfriend I've had, okay, I like a serious relationship with ladies. So I've had 4 girlfriends since I first come here. And
okay, so let's say one every 5 years.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah, it is that kind of. I mean, the current one is 7 years, but basically the last 2. They would go. They'd have a drink, and if they're having a drink, I'd drink with them. And then it gets to 11, 12 o'clock. I'm thinking, well, let's go back home now. And then they've got another bar to go to, and they drink more. And then they end up 4 or 5 o'clock coming back and
completely pissed,
sleeping.
Yeah,
sleeping. You have to carry them back to the room, and it's not really the kind of life that I want from us.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm kind of, if you love someone.
You don't want to see him in that situation.
Yeah. And you accept things that maybe you wouldn't accept if you knew the first day you met. You know what I mean? And I've tried the thing of drinking with her just to see whether that works, but I get ill. I can't do it. So now I'm a bit like you. I basically only drink when I'm with a friend and
like in social situations or something. Yeah.
So not many time, but just for social.
For fun.
Yeah.
Actually for fun. Not for in order to feel better. Just sometimes grab a beer or whatever, or cocktail.
For relax, So this is what
but it's very rare.
I prefer, but the most I can say it's like not only lady boy also and man also Thai people. I can say like in work people. I mean, it's like work part. They are have money, right? They have money, and some people doesn't have any problem with money in the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people had like me, so it's just I'm trying to like spend all night and pay a lot of money for drink, and realize like I'm pay for it all money. So how about
what about your family?
Yeah.
Right, you're spending all your money on your drinks.
Yeah, so that is just learning me and realize like, oh, that is not good to do, and I'm curious like how you guys like can drink every night. And
well, that's a question for me, right?
Yeah, like used to wake up in the early and takes.
So first of all, it depends. Some guys, and I can speak for myself, I know my limit. So at a certain point, after drinking a few, I would say, okay, that's enough for me. I feel drunk enough in order that I don't need more.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
and I don't want to feel bad, as you said. I don't want to feel ill and puking and throwing up or stuff like that, I just want to feel tipsy. I don't know. That's the word, right?
No, see, you and me have got that switch, and I've got it because you actually feel worse, so you stop.
Yeah.
But a lot of the girls say they don't have that switch.
The guys also. Come on, I've
the
seen guys
that's right,
throwing up on the street every day.
Yeah, it's true.
And, right. So for youngest, I can say they newbie. They just came here. They excited.
Yeah.
They are really
First time they are free. They can do whatever they want.
They excited and got it like I'm free. I'm free and I can do whatever I want. So I thought like for next maybe like me, I stay for a couple of years and maybe 3 or 4 years after that, they're gonna realize like who older than me, like around 30, 40, they work in a bar, they realize
30, 40, if you realize at 30, 40 after you start drinking at 20, that's too late. You're already alcoholic.
Yeah, so they realize around same my age before, so they know everything in Pattaya, but they doesn't gonna tell you what you could do, but I understand why they did that, because they want yourself. I
think it's not only they want you to learn yourself. I think some of the people here are extremely selfish and they would like to see you go down the same route they went.
Yes.
They don't care. They will be happy to see you getting drunk and wasting all your money because they did that. You know?
So
that's fair.
like to see if people like to see people new. I mean, like young people going down and then get up. I think that is not really nice to do.
Of course, it's not nice to do.
For myself, I I get some orders.
You're still young. You're still young.
They tell me like they teach me about like you have to be better and you're still young.
Yeah, but you got lucky. I tell you something. You got lucky because I know where you work. Your last work was, right? And some of the people there are extremely good people, right? You know where I'm talking? We can say the name, by the way. It used to be Delirious, right? And the people that work in Delirious, some of them are extremely nice people, extremely caring. And you got lucky, but some people don't have that luck and they find themselves in other bars, which I will not name, and the only thing the ladies do, you're not okay, you not have customer, come on, let's do yaba together. And that's a problem.
I gotta say, like, I saw you first time, I doesn't know who are you, and you told me, he's the owner, Flame, and then I'm like, really? I see him many times, but
you saw him in the bar many times.
Yeah, not many, but
no, but in the bar.
In the bar,
yeah. She met you before in the bar, right?
But I don't know who you are. Maybe it's about like I'm not come to the people, and I see them, and I see you, and you come to the bar, drinks, and realize you out, and I feel like okay, so you're a friend of
our mutual friend,
and I'm doesn't know you the owner of Flank until Mike told me.
Okay, yeah.
Now she's starstruck.
Yeah. No. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, obviously I won't name, but he was one of the first customers after I opened. Very quiet, and I was very nervous, and because when you first open, you're worried about every table, everything, and I was just
overthinking it.
Yeah, overthinking everything. And he didn't really say much, but then he kept coming back. And after we had a chat, and he's just such a nice, reassuring person. He's got the most decent heart. And like, if you work for him, wow.
Yeah, him and the rest of the staff. But I would like to ask you a question about the restaurant. If we talk that subject again, what was the biggest mistake you did when you just opened? Like, if I would open a restaurant tomorrow, what would you recommend me? Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that.
Wow, that's a good question. I have to think about it. Probably I should have been more confident.
Okay.
Because I have a problem now that I pretty much relied so much on the chef and the waitress manager to run the restaurant and do it right, because I knew nothing. And that's created a problem now that as I've had the restaurant, what I've realised is the way that they operate, it's good, but it's kind of average. So, and if I want to improve things, I'm permanently having to have fights, like not like arguments, but I get like tuts. You know, they don't buy in to the improvements of the restaurant.
I get that because it's already comfortable for them, right?
But also I put them in a position where they probably felt more like powerful than I'd like to be now, only because my peace of mind is customers leaving happy. So, and Thais don't really like to talk to customers, right? So to get feedback, to get understanding, most of the time I have to go and talk to customers myself.
Of course.
And then a lot of the time, I go back to the kitchen, I say,
look, I have to stop you for a second. You're right that Thais don't speak with customers, but your customers are not Thais. Most of them are foreigners. Which the foreigners also expect, maybe the owner will come say hello, because it's very common.
It's true, and I'll come back to that. But okay, so if I was told something's wrong with the food, first of all, you've got to make your own judgment. Is that correct or not? And if you hear something a couple of times, then you definitely think it's probably correct. But I would go in the kitchen, and because he'd worked 10 years for a steak restaurant, had done it a certain way, he wouldn't accept what I'm saying until he said, like, well, it's only one customer, I think. And that whole mentality is nothing that I can buy into, because I want every customer to leave happy. And I do believe, people say you can't make everyone happy, but I tend to think there probably is a ground in the middle where most people are happy. If you go too extreme. Anyway, so coming back to your Thai thing, if I go up north to see my girlfriend, then I basically looked into Google when I was up north, and there were 2 1-star reviews. And it's because my manager was smug when she dealt with a customer problem. So both people on the table gave 1-star review. Now that to me, if you're talking about mistakes and regret, allowing her to be in a position where, for me to change that now, I have to go through a lot of fight and pain. But I have changed. I basically found a young lady that's kind of front of the house. But I've got a big problem now that she's perfect. She's polite. She's caring. She's interested in what people say. She wants everyone to be happy. But because I've stepped over the kind of boundary with my manager, she won't accept her, and she's making her life difficult.
Okay.
And I'm now in a position. I might have to lose my in-house manager, and or this girl, and I feel loyalty to my in-house manager because she was there at the start and she got me there, but I don't really know how to fix this one. And I've asked her. She borrowed money, I lent her some money, but she won't change. She won't let this girl feel welcome.
Okay.
And ever since this girl started, the feedback from customers has been much better.
Okay.
So it's something to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is, and I'll give you a different perspective.
Yeah.
In many big successful companies, you got more than one CEO, right? You got
True.
financial CEO. I don't remember all the names, but you got 4 or 5, 6, which are all at the same position. And when you place them at the same position, they are equal.
Yes.
And then they cannot argue. They both have the same power.
Yeah. But I mean, okay. She is basically head of the floor.
Yeah,
of the front house, and the chef is my head chef is head of the kitchen area, and so it's just very difficult. And I'll be honest with you, I know she's like it. I know what she's like. She's brilliant at admin. She's a nice lady, but she cannot communicate with customers the way that a restaurant of ours should be communicating. Yeah. And I would love her to accept 95% of what she did is perfect, and she can't do that 5%. But what I'm finding is that the more I try and keep her away from that 5%, the more she wants to prove she can do it, and fights me. Mm-hmm. She can. Okay, I mean,
some people are not built for that, you know.
No, exactly. I mean, I can't sing. I can't. I'm not a salesman. I've got a stutter, and I avoid. Like, I'm doing this for you, but I avoid these things all.
Yeah.
And
I thank you for that.
No. I mean, I'm very happy with her, but I can't get her to accept that. And I'll tell you, I've had 2 customers that have been here quite a few times that have sent me a message saying, David, I came in the restaurant. The restaurant was quite full. I sat in the seat waiting to be dealt with, and your manager came over and said, "You can't sit there." And
just
said,
that.
Yeah. And he said, "That's so rude."
Yeah.
And he had a bit of a go at me and said, "You've got to sort out your customer care." And I said, "Yeah, I'm really sorry. I know I've got a problem with this." And he said, "No, in my business you sack her." And I said, "Well, I've got loyalty to her. I can't just sack her, but I need to deal with it." And he said, "Okay, I'll block you." And I've had that with two people that were friends here at the restaurant because of her.
Okay.
And I'm dealing with it, but that's my most stressful thing when I come here right now, because the food. In fact, the food is one of the easiest things to get right if you've got a restaurant.
Yeah, but I think also took you time to reach a level.
Yeah. It took 6 months at least. Yeah.
And you're still always changing. I know we spoke about that.
And with Thai staff, you probably know this. You change something, they do it, and then after a month they revert back to the old way. Yeah. So you've got to be on top of it. But I would say the food side is much easier than the staff side.
Okay.
And actually Thais don't really. Okay, so if you've lived all your life, you don't know how service is in the States. And Americans get the best level of service in a restaurant. They pay for it. They give big tips or whatever else. But they're used to that. So if someone walks over without a smile, without seeming that interested, it puts them in a bad mood straight away. And then if you get a problem, you get a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
And this Amy, this girl that I've employed, she's doing a brilliant job on that. And the other girls have improved with her, but I have to deal with this problem.
It's like, what I say is this every about eating, like food or drinks or whatever is like have time to finish. You understand? Like some kind of people. Okay, I can say it. I had experience from chicken crew normally. So yeah, some time they take like for food they made from last days, but they had, so they keep it and do for next day.
Okay, but it depends of what food you're making.
Yeah.
And of course, every restaurant have something they know, that's I can keep in the fridge for the next day because it's okay, and something I cannot. But it's very depends on what you cook. For example, if you had a sushi restaurant, you cannot do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's very logistical. The whole, especially we've got like 70 items on the menu, so it is very important the way you handle, the way you store, the way you recognise when you got like a period of time you can sell something for it that goes to waste. And that's tricky as well. So I would say the menu's the easiest bit. Maybe the operational side's a little bit more difficult, and the staff is the most difficult thing.
I was always wondering, when you have such a big and rich menu as you have in your restaurant, how much like product do you lose every day? Because I guess no one orders everything.
Okay. You try and that's a problem when you first open. Because if you've got a big menu when you first open, you don't have customers, you don't know what's going to sell, you don't know how much to take out. And as you trade, you become more aware of what your average sales of certain things are, so you know roughly how much to prepare and how much what to buy in, etc. But I would say starting off, that's really difficult. That's really
and
difficult.
sometimes you have to start with big menu, right?
Yeah.
You cannot just say, I have just 3 kinds of steaks.
In fact, I don't know if it's worked or not, but when I started this, I said to myself, what do I look for in here? And I personally like to have a girlfriend. I like to go somewhere that's not like expensive romantic, but a little bit more romantic, a little bit nicer environment.
Your place look gorgeous. I don't know if you designed it, but it look amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, but it's still like, it's not like a Hilton or something. It's kind of like,
The first time I came to your restaurant with a friend of mine, before I knew you, he said, and he's an English guy, he said, this is the most posh place I ever seen.
Oh, that's nice.
And I didn't know what posh means. He have to explain it to me, right? Because I don't know the slang over there. But it just means... it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
I mean, I mean, it's very nice you said that. But for me, for this area, which if you've got a restaurant, most of your customers come to this area.
Yeah. We are talking about soy lengkee. The soy
around the whole soy bacao region. Yeah. And the second, sorry, just to come back. So I had that in my mind to make it a place that you would want to take a girlfriend. Yeah, because I'd actually struggled before when I had a girlfriend. I want to go out in soy bacao, and there was no restaurant where I felt like it's slightly romantic to sit with her. Mm-hmm. So I had that in my mind, and I also knew that whenever I go to a restaurant, I like lots of choice. Not because of me, but when you go with a Thai lady, you so often you find you like something, but they don't like anything on the menu, or vice versa.
Most of the times I just have to compromise on a place that sell both foreigners and Thai food.
Yes.
But this is my experience.
Yes. And then if you go with friends, there's even more. So choice, I always felt, is a really good thing to have in a restaurant. Yeah. Because I've been all my life. I've been a consumer. I've been and but the problem with choice, and funny enough, before I opened, one of the top restaurateurs here, he called me and said, David, if that's your menu, take my advice, don't do it. You can't have that many items on the menu. He said it in a nice way, but he's like the top of fine dining.
Right. I think I know who you talk about.
So he couldn't keep the very high top level of fine dining with a kind of mass thing. But I think we found a way of getting close to fine dining, but being able to put out lots of different meals and lots of
and also compared to those high-end restaurants, right? Your prices are great, right?
Thank you.
I think you're right in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I just try and make an honest profit that can pay the wages, pay the electric, and hopefully at the end of the year have some profit.
I remember a few years ago I came here to Pattaya, and me and a few other guys went to a restaurant that I will not name, but it's in the small plaza in Soy Diana. I will not name the restaurant. And I wasn't paying for that meal because one of the guys said he will pay for everyone. We went there. We were like 5 people. I think the bill was about 13,000 or 15,000 baht. And just one dish, some side dish, and a drink. That's it. It's so expensive sometimes. And then you go to like a restaurant like yours or other restaurant that I spoke about before, and the prices are down to earth. I know how much they make.
I think down to earth is a good expression.
Yeah.
But obviously, I do feel we do better quality. So compared to the average kind of
steakhouses,
steakhouses here. Yeah. Well, no, I don't really mean that. I mean, there's loads of average restaurants in this area. Absolutely loads. Right. So if I do a roast dinner, for instance, I do it at $4.95. I'm more expensive than probably 70-80% of people do it cheaper than $4.95. But they don't use the same beef. They don't put as much on the plate. They don't spend as much on the vegetables and the quality of everything on the plate.
And as you said, the restaurant also look less. It doesn't look like a place you want to take someone to a date.
Yes, and it also may not be air conditioned. But
of course, that's very important.
But that was risky because that's the first time that I've actually set something where knowing the price was higher than the competition. But that's been the most successful thing because that thing has changed the restaurant doing the roast dinner at Sunday because so many people come and say, I finally found a roast dinner that's quality that I've had at home or I like.
You mean the Sunday roast?
The Sunday roast. Yeah. And then they basically are totally happy with the price, recommending it, and I feel like you shouldn't be tempted to be the cheapest and then cut your quality and then you're in with everybody else. You shouldn't be the most expensive because you have to be honest and down to earth, like you say. So everything I'm doing now, I think that's the place to be where the quality is obviously worth the extra money. A little bit like if you bought a BMW, where it's not the best car in the world, but you can be confident.
Yeah. So it's like how to say, like everything what we do. So if we do from feeling, we do from
our heart,
from our heart and honest. So it's gonna be work.
That's it. You're right about that as well, because if you do really suffer when you let someone down, if you do really feel elated when someone gets it right, and I know it's easy for me to say this, but if you're not doing it for the financial gain primarily, then I think that does come across when you do it. Also the staff, because I'm always letting my staff off things and giving them extra money and things.
It's like
it's with them as well. It comes across in the vibe.
Of course, what you give, you get back always.
I worked in a restaurant before and be a staff in the restaurant, and I have my noodle shop. I make food. I do food shop also. So my shop is just like cold. Nearby school, young school, and every afternoon around 3 or 4 o'clock they are finished study and go back home, right? So many children in the school, I can say around almost everyone in school, every student that come up to my shop, and they take food. I can't finish all my noodle and other food in the one day, but I doesn't know what is going on because my mom did that. My mom she made everything for that, and her said for food for children, just 5 baht, 10 baht, just a little and small portion, but everyone, many children coming up and they say hi to my mom, say hi to me.
Yeah, it's heartwarming.
Yeah, but I can say I can feel from mom, and mom say always to me if we do from feelings and we do from heart, doesn't matter if you do for expensive, but it's delicious but expensive.
People feel the effort and people feel the love in the food.
Yeah.
But that comes back to the AI concept you had at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the singer. You
just
when
circle
you had a
around,
heart step. Yeah.
Anyway, David, first of all, I want to thank you so much for being
My
on this.
pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
And I hope it was fun for you and it was fun for me.
Interesting conversation, thank you.
And another thing, I want to again recommend everyone that love good steakhouse and Sunday roast on. The menu is so bigger than that, so just check it out. It's called The Flame in Soy Lengkee. Again, just give it a try.
Yeah.
And again, on another thing, I want to thank our listeners. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate what you did for us the last week. And yeah, we will do our best to improve on the sound points and everything. And again, if you want to support us, there is a link in the show notes in every way. It doesn't matter if you're Spotify, YouTube, there is a link for support. And even just clicking the share button is amazing. The like button is amazing. So thank you guys. Pim, any closing words?
Yeah, thank you for our listener and thank you for David. Very nice to see you today. It's the first time me and you talk each other.
Yes, that's right.
Because we see each other before. We never talk together.
That's right,
but it's first time. I'm very happy to see you and
By the way, she's eating with us today, so
so for first time.
Yeah. Is it 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was panicking. I'm thinking.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.